All right. Well, we are live because the thing is live. Yeah, I was gonna say it's possible that we don't know how to do time, or something got started early. And honestly, Pope Leo seems like the sort of person who might have a thing start early.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. All right. Can we get audio on this?
Oh, I didn't turn on the audio. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay. You reminded me to remember to click the button, and that was you
And then
doing the
I
reminder.
forgot to click
but
the button.
Yes, physician, heal thyself.
Oh.
That's all right. And we got a pope. We got all sorts of stuff going on here.
It's there.
All right, it's there. Let me put it up on our stage here.
That is why the Encyclical
now it's making noise
for all of
yes, and it should be making noise for everyone. So once we have an actual viewer or two on this, they can let us know if there's any noise being made. Although, of course, this was a little bit shorter notice than our last live things, because that would have been the conclave, which you get a few weeks notice for that, and people were watching us pretty closely. So we'll see.
In the time of artificial intelligence, safeguarding.
Fortunately, we've got English commentary, so we can kind of let them tell us about that blue-haired guy. It must be the Anthropic guy. I had to take a guess.
Technology therefore cannot receive.
It has to be, right?
Yeah, he's got to be the tech guy. He's the blue-haired guy at the Vatican press conference.
It must be traced back to the truth of the individual, to justice.
He does stick out like a sore thumb.
Common life, and to the good of all people on the earth, as the church has taught us over the centuries. And it is with the spirit that we begin our proceedings today. The speakers will help us to grasp
so these were opening remarks. You just started early.
Yeah, I was just catching that, because I was like, okay, well, I know Paraline's giving the closing remarks, so we'll see if this is which one this is.
Responsibility. Thank you.
And the text of the encyclical is not live at this point. I was wondering if you're going to be able to see it on the sidelines.
He will also be moderating the different speeches.
I wonder. No, I cannot make it closed captioned. There are no closed captions because it's live.
Now there should be a section of a video, an introductory video.
What good is all of these computers going super duper fast, generating things, if you cannot give me closed captions in real time?
I mean, I've definitely seen other things do closed captions in real time, so it might be kind of a statement that their AI press conference
that their AI press conference is not doing it.
Yeah.
As we were saying earlier.
I like the countdown.
Encyclical is coming out, and now we will.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Introductory
actual video of Leo. Predecessor, Leo the 13th.
Oh, there's that fancy train.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about that fancy train until Carlos was like, "Look, someone made an ink about this fancy train."
Oh, what's fancy about the train?
It was like his travel train, and it's like really bougie.
There you go.
It's apparently in a museum somewhere. It's like 3 cabs.
Nice. I just want to note, I see we have at least one viewer that's not just Fry and I, so welcome. We'll gradually figure out how to do this. Yeah. But also, I noticed that the Vatican has over 1,000 people watching live, so we need to get our numbers up. These are rookie numbers. Yeah, 3. Let's see if we can beat the Vatican. Okay, that's a reasonable goal, right? Fry, could you make some bots to watch us?
No, I don't think we should make any bots for the encyclical on AI.
What if we cash in all of the spam email offers to increase views for this?
Oh my gosh. I think they only do like Facebook views or something. I don't even know.
Yeah, so they're playing a video that was basically Starts with Leo the 13th and now going up to, oh, this is live now. That's a nice way to end that video. Or no, the Pope's joining them, watching a video of himself speaking, which honestly is a very Pope thing to do. They timed this for the anniversary of Rerum Novarum, which Rerum Novarum is like a social encyclical because, you know, when it was the late 19th century, right, tail end of that, when Pope Leo's predecessor, Pope Leo, right, Leo the 13th, was Pope, and there was a lot of questions about, like, you know, how does the Industrial Revolution impact workers? You know, yeah, all the whole
okay, I see.
Yeah, what economic thing is best? But everyone was talking, or at least, you know, most of the commentators, as soon as we knew that Leo the 14th was going to be named Leo, Rerum Novarum, that encyclical, was what everyone was talking about, because they knew, like, you know, when you take a papal name, it's first and foremost going to be a callback to the last person who took that papal name. And in the case of Leo the 13th, he is definitely best known for launching these, you know, encyclicals on workers, and specifically like things like workers' rights and the impact of automation, largely, right? And just, like, you know, the mass global economy. It literally, the encyclical Rerum Novarum means, you know, about a new thing. So it was like, you know, how does this way that the world works now, how does that relate to Christianity, right?
Oh, okay, all right. Oh, and now we're looking at art, actual art.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just you're gonna nail it home here, Leo.
Yep. And they timed this encyclical with the anniversary of Rerum Novarum, which is not today, but they officially dated the encyclical that's coming out today on May 15th, which was the anniversary of Rerum Novarum, because they tend to do that with encyclicals. Like, here's a letter, it's public. I, you know, signed it and dated it, you know, 2 weeks ago. So there you go. That's given in Rome on May 15th. Magnifica Humanitas. Safeguarding the human person. Something about artificial intelligence. I did not read fast enough.
It comes up.
Yes.
So we just watched an introductory video.
But hello,
showing
welcome, Ash
popes throughout the
Musing.
ages, different important technological and historical moments, and the importance of protecting families and young people.
The floor to our speakers.
This was
starting
a
with
little
His Eminence Cardinal Victor Manuel Fernandez,
last minute
prefect
on our
of
part.
the Dicastery of Doctrine of the Faith,
Yes.
former rector of the Pontifical Catholic University of Argentina.
Yes, I am quite sure
La Plata. He was
that
created cardinal by Pope Francis in 2020.
Leo intentionally chose his name with AI and such in mind, right? He had a few hours to think about it once he saw the votes were going his way.
From the
So Cardinal Fernandez is the head of theology.
to comprehend the authentic possibilities for transcendence that inhabit the human being and that are expressed in their desire, constant desire to go further and to move beyond.
Yes, so the Cardinal Fernandez here is the head of theology. He's Cardinal Tuccio, also the guy who wrote
Humanitas signed
The Art of Kissing.
on the 15th
Oh,
of May
yeah.
as
Yeah, this is Art of Kissing guy.
Church's social teaching, and it does so in dialogue.
Well, he didn't do that
the
with AI,
realities
so
facing humanity.
No.
that was all him.
For Christian
That's right.
leader, nothing that is human leaves us indifferent. Precisely because the Church's social documents give voice to the new challenges facing humanity, it is inevitable that the
I don't know who that guy or his friend are, but they're doing the thing
as
that
artificial
younger Catholics often do, which is wear rosaries, and then often you get told not to do that. But I assume they are doing that as part of their culture because they're doing it
Yeah,
at the
I think they're
Vatican.
supposed to wear them. I very
Yeah.
much also clocked that, like, oh, that's not a necklace. Oh, nope.
Yeah, that's one
You're
of the things you
allowed.
learn when you're a Catholic kid is it's not a necklace, the rosary.
My brief
Apparently for
presentation
some.
of Magnifica Humanitas, I shall focus exclusively on paragraphs 118 to 130, which are the most theological paragraphs and can provide a faith-based framework.
Sorry.
Now,
You heard it here or on the Vatican's feed first. Paragraphs 119 to 130 are the most theological, according to the head of theology. So I guess he would know.
Social document
Right.
develops various themes of the church's social doctrine, which qualifies.
And Greg
it
said
as
the art
theology.
of
I say
kissing.
theological
He
Yes.
he has a book about how holy it
referring
is
to
to
the
make
highest
out.
level of our spiritual
Yes.
life. So
Basically
we're
talking about like,
to God,
yeah, just human
to
interconnectivity.
of love with Him and the consequent transformation of our
Not
heart.
something you'd expect from a cardinal, but it was when he was a young priest, kind of doing the what's that, like the youth pastor sort of.
Yeah.
To appreciate humanity as
You know, you guys know making out's about Jesus, right?
and does so, even though the text
Oh, we're up to 4.
terrible
Awesome.
capacity for
The
evil,
Vatican
Hello,
has
new people.
1,061. So we're catching up. Actually, we're not, but proportionally, we're catching up.
So close.
to the point of murdering thousands of
It's a
Got all
David
my
and Goliath
morning
sort of thing.
phlegm, so you're welcome, everybody.
that clearly
Yeah.
be an international law and cannot.
I don't have morning phlegm, so I'm going to have some cheese, and that'll give me morning phlegm.
So yes, this humanity of ours, which is capable of reducing so many people to slavery in the most diverse forms, even though we are in the third
Also,
millennium.
probably
And
wreck
yes,
your guys'
this
ears as I
humanity of ours,
search through
which
crackers near my microphone.
of indifference,
But that's right. This is the content you came here for.
cruelty that never cease to astonish. Despite all of this, the Holy Father is not ashamed to call it magnificent. For indeed, every human being possesses infinite dignity and never loses that sublime capacity for love which God bestowed upon humanity when He created us. Paragraphs 122 to 126
Welcome.
provide examples.
You're on your
that
lunch
make us
break, and that's
proud
pretty
to be
cool
human.
because it is 4:41
They
a.m.
show
here.
Yeah.
This wretched humanity.
If you're on your lunch break now, you're probably in Europe. So keep in mind, Pontifacts is doing a tour of Italy in
Yes,
January.
It is true
in January.
as magnificent. Pope Leo argues.
Do you have that link around, Fry? Could you put that in the thing?
Do I have that link? Yes.
And at times have taken on an almost prophetic value. And he
Let me grab
refers
that
to
link.
Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, to Picasso's Guernica.
Do I have that
and
link?
to the
No, Ash Musing. We are also not over the art of kissing.
mentions
It was a wild fact.
arduous birth of institutions
Yes, that is the man who's speaking, the cardinal who wrote a book called The Art of Kissing.
As well as
Actually, it's called Heal Me With Your Mouth, The Art of Kissing.
And next, we read of significant events such as the civil rights movement in the United States.
I'll also say I do joke sometimes that maybe he wrote a not safe for work sequel called The Art of something
or
else.
the end of
But we won't dwell on that, and I'll let him speak a little more.
Mandela's choice of forgiveness and fraternity. He highlights the names of great women, such as Mother Teresa of Calcutta, Dorothy Day, Marie Curie, Elizabeth Elliot, Benazir Bhutto, and others who have helped to make history more human. The Holy Father also recalls the martyrs of fraternity and justice, such as Colby, Romero, Angelelli, and Van Tuan, in addition to the martyrs of everyday
apparently
life,
not allowed to
errands,
comment.
nurses,
So
doctors,
hang on,
volunteers.
Greg.
Oh,
And
okay.
he concludes that this fascinating
You want to send it to me?
I've been told no.
struggle, beauty, help us understand that humanity, magnificent and wounded, must not be replaced or surpass.
Shock of the Nero, Italy, yeah. Europe,
not
yes, but Italy, no. Yeah, that's fair.
What makes it itself
I'm on Earth, but also not in Italy.
grandeur.
Yeah, not in Italy.
Thinking about post-humanism, some forms of which go so far as suggesting that humanity
Dealing with your mouth next D&D cleric
we
spell.
pause to contemplate these people and these events
Is
that
that like,
spring from the heart of the human being.
Lay on hands, but with your mouth.
On the other hand, some
Lay on tongue.
transhumanism invite us to anticipate a life in paradise thanks to future sophisticated devices solving all problems and enhancing our capabilities.
He just said future stuff is going to heal all our problems.
But many
I
technological
think that's how
devices
context works.
delight the individual at first, yet shortly after, an emptiness returns, a feeling that something is missing. Various forms of post-humanism allege that this happens because humanity has reached its expiry date. It must simply be replaced.
By robots.
And an evolutionary leap towards a new form of life, a new level in the evolution of the species is necessary. This leap is always dependent on technology. As believers, we are certain that none of this will fill the void. It will not fill the infinite
As
space of
believers,
our hearts.
we do not believe in this.
Nor will it give a stable and lasting meaning to our human lives.
As the faithful, we do not believe this
Behind
art is
idea
very
of progress
artistic.
lies a false mysticism that is precisely the opposite of what Christians and other believers call new life, the theological life, that life which is truly on another level, that life which certainly takes us beyond ourselves into genuine transcendence.
If anyone has any questions, by the way,
Lived in faith, hope,
we're happy to answer them. Specifically, Fry is happy to plug them into ChatGPT or whatever.
in
No,
the
I'm not gonna do the bit.
hyper-technological worldview.
It was funny to talk
Faith
about it
is
as a bit,
replaced
but I think
Well,
it would
by
actually be
total
rude.
trust in
Yeah, and a little bit even more crowded.
is transformed into a superficial hope,
Too much AI slop,
new
it's true.
product that
I think at
will
this point everyone has read too much AI slop.
our boredom.
Mm-hmm.
Love
But
love
honestly-
is forgotten because we prefer to be attached to things.
That's real.
We desire to have more, while others, our brothers and sisters, disappear from view.
Facebook feeds mostly AI slop at this point.
This runs the risk of
Specifically the like
the human
stuff that's
person
like
has a spiritual dimension created
just clearly
directly
made to drive people to engage.
cannot be
Whatever it is, like it's got like
the
almost up like one flaw just to make people comment.
nor can
Yeah.
it be reproduced by them. Of course, how can we not be deeply grateful, for example, for the possibilities of medical care offered by new technologies?
Yeah, okay.
Now, this is beyond question.
Art
But the
bad.
mystique embedded
Doing
in
medical stuff good. Yes.
transhumanism
I also feel this
advocates
way.
the overcoming
Yeah.
of every limit as its ultimate ideal. Now, the encyclical response to this proposal is in paragraphs 118 to 121, which explore the value
And
and the
that's in the
fruit
most theological section because
experience.
119 to 130 is the most theology, I'm told.
In truth, limitation is not
Let's see if we have
always
the
a
text
flaw
yet.
to be corrected, but a place where the human person matures and opens up to
Yeah, Ash,
relationship.
I'm also in
For this
two
reason, the
separate
Holy Father
spaces that have
states,
two separate
Human
AI
beings do not
ideals, and it's
flourish
kind
in
of
spite of their limitations, but often
wild to
through
see.
them.
Like indie author
And
space,
he goes on to
absolutely no
add,
AI ever. Don't
it
even
is
touch it. Don't even
precisely in
think
our
about
being
touching it,
limited
right?
that there
It'll
is
sully
room
your work.
for compassion,
And
for a sincere
then
concern
for
the
marketing,
for the
all the
needs of
marketing I do,
others,
if I'm not
for the
using AI, then
generosity
I'm
that
not
That's the problem.
surprises even in
on
the midst of
the right
darkness or
level or
failure.
whatever. It's
for
So
spiritual
bizarre to me.
experience and
Yeah.
the worship of God.
So the encyclical text is live now.
Sure,
So I put a link in the comments.
and we embark on a journey of deeper understanding.
So that's that Vatican.va link.
Nice.
That those who think they can achieve a marvelous humanity by overcoming every limitation and suffering, that to suppress pain entirely
These encyclical letters
in the
tend
end
to,
have
they've tended, especially since John Paul II,
well
have tended to be long.
those who
And
love
yes, this one does not disappoint, weighing in at 245 paragraphs, or at
the
least things called paragraphs, which doesn't always equate to
we
paragraphs.
cherish within ourselves the lessons that are etched
224
a memory of the
different
journey
citations.
taken between freedom and falls, dreams and disappointments. End of quote. It is precisely
that guy
from
just
the
looked directly at the
intertwining
camera
of
like
all
he was
this
in the
that we
office.
so often manage to, quote, savor the sweetest taste of our
There's a bunch of reporters checking to see if there's any signs of AI in the text of this
dramatic and
kind of
splendid
the
Oh,
EM
I'm
dashes.
sure.
the name of a supposed
I
overcoming
learned
of
that the
every
M
limit
dash is called that because
would
it's the
no
same
longer
length as an M, like a
be
capital M.
to be human. Quote.
And I was like, that's
And it will certainly not be
why,
a triumph.
of
for
course,
humanity.
humans name things just the thing. Very river
Nevertheless,
of them.
There is in all of us a
It
genuine
is a dash
desire
as long
to
as an
rise
M.
above, to go beyond, which the encyclical does not wish to deny. The true possibility of this beyond is called grace. Grace. A beautiful word that St. Augustine, more than anyone else in history,
Hopefully my cracker crunching isn't too obnoxious, because I don't intend to stop.
No, you're it's only
the
minimal.
Holy Father, a son of Augustine, insists on showing how this call to transcend ourselves towards another level of humanity, the one dreamed of by God, resonates within Christianity as well. He does so in paragraphs 127 and 128, where he states, for example, that the human being is not confined within the limits of his nature, but is called to transcend himself, and explains that this is possible through God's gratuitous, surprising, and superabundant initiative. He offers us a process of elevation.
Heard it here first, by the way. Keyword search, which is what all the journalists are doing right now in some form, does not show any presence of Trump or Musk by name in the document.
By the grace of the Holy Spirit, we can enter
as I would say, as expected.
of that inexhaustible
Well, like
life,
they're not doing anything with.
even
I mean,
as we walk
overall, they're not doing anything with
within
AI.
the limits of this
No.
world.
Grok exists, but
Accordingly,
Grok
as
is
Saint
just a
Paul
copy
said,
of
we become
something
New
else.
Yeah.
creatures.
Well, that's everything Musk does.
Francis is quoted as explaining that in this transcending of ourselves, we do not become less human,
Knowing
but fully.
typically the way the Vatican does these perspectives, I doubt any particular AI company is named.
We come to be fully human when we are more than human, when we allow God to lead us beyond ourselves.
Well, if Peter Thiel's in there, Peter Thiel only
so
knows about
that
the
we may
Antichrist,
reach
so
our truest being.
that would make
End
it a
of
very
quote.
weird encyclical.
Yeah.
Example,
There are two mentions of Peter, but it's the See of Peter and
in young
St. Peter's, which is where the encyclical is given, because that's
is
included
certainly
at the end of all of them.
far greater than anything algorithms.
Also, my little computer dings are not popping up for you guys, right?
No dings. No
Okay,
dings
good.
on our end.
That would be annoying.
Is it not so? All these considerations leave us with a powerful and crucial message, or rather, a fundamental question for our conscience, mine and yours. And the question is, do I want to belong to that humanity which is closed in on itself, decadent, empty, and insensitive, proud of its technological resources, to the point of worshiping itself in place of God?
I feel like we're supposed to not want that.
Yeah.
Do I wish to belong
Classic homily question.
to the magnificent humanity that God has dreamed of, the one capable of loving, of giving our life for others, of suffering with them, of allowing us to be led beyond ourselves, to become more fully ourselves in friendship with God? I leave the answer to each of us. Many thanks.
Ringraziamo
I am proud to thank Cardinal Fernandez for his reflection and for helping us enter in the theological depth of Magnifica Humanitas. His speech reminded us about the concept of limitation and of the human desire to go beyond, which can only be confirmed by the truth if it is enlightened by grace and aiming at the fullness of the human vocation to enter in relationship with God. Thank you, Eminence. So we will now move to the second speech of today. Mrs. Anna Rowlands,
la professoressa
professor
che insegna
From Durham University.
and teaching at the Catholic Social Thought and Practice at the Durham University, a member of the Dicastery for the Service of Promoting Integral Human Development. Pope Francis appointed her expert theologian at the Synod of Synodality. We will ask her to help us understand one of the main topics of Magnifica Humanitas, specifically the way in which the encyclical letter talks about the basics and the principles of the social teaching of the Church. Her reflection will help us acknowledging the continuity between the integral ecology of Laudato Si and the integral humanism and the reflection on human development in this new text, highlighting how the gospel helps us transform in a culture of power in a civilization of love. Professor Rowland, the floor is yours.
This, I believe, is the first time they've done a press conference like this, along with an encyclical
Excellencies,
letter.
sisters,
So,
and
encyclical is a teaching letter from the Pope. So basically, think about it like a long written homily, kind of out to the world, historically to the bishops of the world, but mostly they've kind of leaned in the direction of just sending it out to
What
everyone.
does it mean to be a flourishing human being in a time of AI?
And this one's coming out. This one out today is about AI. There's a link in the.
Consideration of that question,
Yeah.
any more than
You got
today's
it.
technologies embody
AI is
neutral
everywhere.
worldviews.
Yeah,
This encyclical
nearly
brings
38,000
It's-
words. This encyclical, so I'm not getting through it over the course of this video.
of
I
AI.
love that it's
warns
it's
of a
been like,
growing
I don't know, it's been
culture
like
of
less than a week
power
since Google
that
was
is
like,
reshaping
only
work,
AI. You can't do anything
families,
without AI.
education,
Oh,
and
is that what that was? I saw there was some sort of Google update.
to
Yeah.
transform modes of power that dominate
You want Google to work like
into
Google? No.
forms of
AI.
shared power. And to
Oh, there's
measure
the Anthropic
I was
guy.
gonna say
I
they were
don't-
on topic.
maybe-
Who's blue hair?
Maybe the blue-haired man
to
is just his
true
friend.
social and ethical progress. 11 years ago, Laudato
Maybe there's a blue-haired religious order I wasn't familiar with.
and urgent care for the earth and for the poorest. Warning
They've
of a
stopped showing
technocratic
us him.
paradigm
Almost like
that
we
measures
hallucinated
human
him.
worth by
Yes.
utility.
Yellow tie guy does pop out
Pope
though.
Leo shows that to overcome this technocratic paradigm requires us now to just as urgently safeguard the human. An integral ecology requires an integral humanism centered on Jesus Christ. This appeal is no platitude. No idea is more central to modern society than that of the free human being. Yet this ideal is now at breaking point. This
Oh,
leads
she agrees with you, Ash Musing.
anger,
It will
Mhm.
crash at some point.
others to a desire to overcome our humanity, striving to become our own gods.
Well,
Instead,
it's already like leaps and
Magnifica
bounds,
Humanitas
not
presents
profitable.
human freedom as a gift,
Yeah.
anchored in a truth that is personal,
I mean, that's fairly normal for any new
ethical,
technology. I think eventually they will find, uses for it, but not, of course,
in a
as
name
initially
irreplaceable
which is also the pattern with any new technology.
care, contemplation, suffering even, and friendship.
What do we think? Is it going to go Terminator on us?
Free human beings as a loved creation, equal in dignity, created for relationship, rational shapers of the world, and a neighbor without exception. The power that we have.
One of my friends who definitely knows technology more intimately than I do, because he's, been a programmer for his entire career.
Truths of freedom.
He noted that, like, if you've been using a spam filter on your email, you've been using AI, often for decades.
Fulfilling these truths for a time of AI, Magnifica Humanitas offers
I
a
think
new synthesis of
we
the
have
Church's social
to
doctrine.
also
As recent
separate out
times
like
have perhaps shown,
automated
Church
systems
speaks on
that do
social
things within their own little
some
bubble, like they
complain
do a
of
job,
welcome interference.
Yeah.
and generative AI
Yet
that's
the
like
Church writes
Yeah.
scrapes the whole
speaks
internet and
because
just
her
spits
mission
out
is to
words.
reveal the face
Seinfeld
of
episodes.
history and to accompany humanity
Yes.
as it struggles towards its true good and to foster unity. Discerning our path in history is a communal task in dialogue with
'Cause,
cultures, with
If I don't have a friend to
sciences,
play with
people
me
of
on a
all
video
faiths and
game,
beliefs.
I'm playing with an
Many
AI,
social
but that AI
Yeah.
doesn't go on the
bear a
internet
special
and
responsibility
decide how
for
it's
this
going to play
task.
the game.
Right.
It knows how to play the game
A
because
healthy
it's in its
social
little
dialogue
box.
means that we
Yeah, or
must
the nightmare mode
silos.
computer opponents in Perfect Dark were real good. And yes, theoretically, that's also AI, but it is a different type, right? To have, computers at this point that can go ahead and just build their own websites and draw their own traffic off of other bots.
Invites us into a space of encounter and mutual accompaniment to share in a collective search for truth, for justice, and for flourishing.
I was
In
telling
this
my
space,
boss that there
the
has
most
to be something
vulnerable
to this dead
and
internet theory,
victims,
because the
the
second we started
newly
using Gemini
enslaved,
to
have
make
faces
our
and
images
names,
for
and they
marketing
are
and
heard
stuff,
first.
our
Magnifica
interactions
Humanitas offers
have
social
jumped up
principles to assist
like,
with dialogue.
I don't know,
Over
like
135
500%, I would
years,
say.
What's
It's
this theory?
foundation of the
dead
social
internet
order
theory.
Oh, okay.
That
human
most of the internet
person.
is just
That the common
AI
good
talking to
cannot truly
itself.
be sought
Yeah.
without recognition
The
and
second I pretend to be
participation of
AI,
all,
it will talk to
that
me
the resources
and
of
therefore
the
show it to
earth
other
are
people,
met
like
on-
show it to
are
real
meet
people.
the
But
needs
Yeah.
of all, including future generations.
All right, viewers, comment if you're AI.
Christ makes us neighbors bound in structural
That'll
and
help our engagement. Because the
solidarity.
Vatican's still
Power must be transparent,
destroying us here. We got 3 viewers. They got
exercised at
1,238.
social levels. This encyclical insists that these principles apply inside the church as well as outside. The encyclical tradition also traditionally exposes false idols. The popes have taught, we will not be saved by the market, nor by historical forces, nor by the nation state. Today, Pope Leo cautions that we will not be saved by AI either, or by its post
Abbreviation in front of her name is interesting. I assume that's
ideology,
Professora.
total autonomy, radical
Oh.
automation, machine consciousness, and the overcoming of human limits as saving goals. In doing so, they create new dependencies, exclusions, and inequalities, to quote the Holy Father. Instead, limits are part of how we learn compassion, generosity, and healthy interdependence.
Anthropics
The heart is pierced, and how it expands
co-founders.
communion.
Location just listed as USA.
Soul grows in a wisdom that is more than mere knowledge. Yet the encyclical tradition, we should be
The
clear,
entirety of the
tells
USA.
a fundamentally positive
He
story about
sits in a
technologies. Since our
floating
origins,
something.
humans
I don't
have
know.
created
I don't actually know
technologies
where
that
he's at.
augment their
Probably in
freedom,
Silicon
alleviate
Valley.
suffering, and meet real needs. When
All right, now I think it's in the Paul VI volume, Saul.
a clear good, they can be viewed as an
What?
extension of the
Cracker
freedom
mouth?
that God
Mhm.
gives in Genesis. To
The
till
Paul VI audience hall is where they typically do this sort of thing. So I think
Oh
that's
yeah, right now.
Yeah.
within the terms of the covenant between God and humanity.
Although, imagine if they like revealed like you got thought this was a guy. It's actually an AI hologram.
Common good, to build
Yeah,
community,
she
and to
accidentally
foster
brushes
peace
against
and
him, and
unity.
he like
The traditions
Phases through him.
blinks out of his existence for a
constructive.
second.
How do we cultivate technologies that
Oh
are
yeah,
truly
Anthropic
good
put out a
news
study
for
earlier
all?
that shows that LLM
Today's
uses
sophisticated technologies
sharply degrading
are
coding
not
knowledge. I
mere
think it's sharply
tools,
degrading
but
like
tools
everything
that, like
knowledge.
the
All
languages
knowledge,
that
yes,
carve
all skills.
I'm still
cultures
shook.
and their
Like
moral
last year, my
architectures.
cousin was like, "I used
Magnifica
ChatGPT to
Humanitas
ask
notes that the
to ask
powers
it
of innovation
the
that have
timing for how
traditionally
to make
resided with
Easter dinner."
states are
And I was
today
like,
concentrated
"Excuse
in
me,
the hands
you
of a
couldn't just
few
be like, oh,
wealthy
and now I put in the
individuals
potatoes. You had
whose
to ask
cultures are
ChatGPT to do
concealed
that."
from common good
I will say that it does verge onto the classic kids these days territory, which humanity has been experiencing, especially with regards to technology, for the entirety of our just development of technology, thousands of years. But also it is more intense than it's been.
Re-engage technologies as a matter of the common good, accountable to the good of every human and all humanity. Magnifica Humanitas acknowledges that many of us, perhaps including in this room today, do not feel confident to explore these questions. This letter empowers each of us to play our part.
Anyway, the potatoes weren't
asking
done.
what kind of vision
So
of human
ChatGPT was wrong.
do I here in this time of AI? What image of human worth and who determines
One
that?
of our viewers might be my daughter, so Catherine, shout out to you if you did actually get up early.
Not habituated or coerced or eroded.
I will
we
limit my
free
swear words, I guess.
in work, in education, family.
I mean, she watched our
technologies or not.
Oh yeah,
to support
our other live stream.
Or not.
So did my mom, I guess.
Yeah, she would not stop talking about Cardinal Ray for a while there. So
quote.
She was very proud, and I'm, you know what, frankly, I'm proud. Good job getting up at 5 a.m. to watch nerd stuff.
Use power.
I assume for her, the main interest was Dad, though.
This spiritual diagnosis runs like a connecting thread through the Encyclical, addressing how technology is reshaping multilateral politics. Pope Leo diagnoses a deep connection between poverties of relationship and a culture of power.
I also suspect your mom had ulterior motives than just liking nerd stuff.
He describes deep connections between what he calls the false realisms that normalize war and social domination, that automate reality and reduce the person to data.
Was pleased that Mom could watch any Vatican channel and chose mine.
We know you have your choice of streaming options to watch this encyclical launch, or at least we presume we do. So thank you for choosing us.
Impoverished relationships.
I'm guessing EWTN's doing this.
Those rich in relationships know how to dialogue, how to negotiate, and how to speak across language without domination.
Yeah, that's the thing. It is AI is often wrong, so it's very much a trust but verify, multiple sources sort of thing.
Misrecognizing and disordering virtue and vice, strength and weakness, courage and cowardice. Magnifica Humanitas helps us to see that the desire for domination, what St. Augustine called the libido dominandi, might be lauded by the world as strength, but it is never a Christian virtue. Instead, we are called to a civilization of love. Pope Leo says this means de-escalating conflict by disarming our words, focusing on justice as the basis for peace, adopting the perspective of the victims, cultivating a healthy, not a false realism, reviving dialogue and multilateralism, and praying. Mary's Magnificat.
A lot of being any sort of clergy is like looking engaged when someone else is talking.
Their election on the cross. Mary's hymn is perhaps the most viscerally embodied cry in the New Testament, echoing today in our disembodied
They should show us a shot of the guy who's just got his head in his hands. That guy's not engaged at all.
Oh yeah, no. The one guy who's definitely got his phone like all the way out and just like cradled down into it.
She points to a human history where God reigns. Here, the hungry are fed, the mighty overthrown, and the
Cardinal
lonely.
Fernandez not only taught us about kissing, but he's putting on a class on that.
The insistent question of this encyclical.
Polite
How can we
Reading.
form communities that in an age of accelerating
Yeah,
technological
he looks like he's
change,
paying attention to her,
place
but
the
also
human
reading.
first,
Yeah.
cultivating spiritual and ethical growth, justice and unity.
I assume he's reading what she's
Humanities author
saying and not like the text of the encyclical, because like if I were him, I would be making a face if I was reading the encyclical itself, because like he probably wrote it, and so like you will see all of your flaws as soon as it launches, right?
I assume that they've got translations for whatever they're supposed to be saying.
Yeah.
Ringraziamo cordialmente la professoressa.
A deep thank to Professor Rowlands.
I
That-
don't know
He
about
helped
anyone
us
else.
to acknowledge how Magnifica Humanitas is part of a living tradition.
Does everyone just have to sit
fruitful
through this and not know what
tradition,
anyone's saying?
the one
or
of
is
the
there
social
secretly
doctrine of the
translations
church,
on the
which on the one hand is able to safeguard its
TV?
own principle, and on the other, them resonate in a new way
Most people are going to be familiar with
of
Italian
our age and of
in this
AI.
context, but
Thank
True.
you, Professor.
but oftentimes, yeah, you do just sit through something not quite knowing what they're saying. Like
We'll give the
when
floor
Pope Benedict resigned, you could tell which of the people in the room
founder
knew
of
Latin and which didn't, because he definitely did it in Latin. And like the one guy looked shocked, and then like the other guy looked shocked like 10 seconds later when the translation came through.
in the field of interpretability and safety of neural networks. And for more than 10 years, he has been working in the field of the safe and responsible development of advanced AI systems. His presence today is a sign of the dialogue in the players of the field of AI with the church for the common good of humanity. And so we will now listen to a voice representing the innermost part of this world. Mr. Christopher Ola, the floor is yours.
He's done an AI.
Holy Father, Your
Yeah.
Eminencies, Your Excellencies,
And also a
Distinguished
blog
speakers,
platform. He
ladies
does
and gentlemen.
things.
good morning to you all. It's an honor to be here today. I want to begin with something that may sound strange, coming from the co-founder
Concluded
of
that Fry actually probably knows more about AI
work out of a
certainly
desire
than I do.
to help things go well for humanity. Every frontier AI lab, including Anthropic, operates inside a set of incentives and constraints that can sometimes conflict with doing the right thing. The pressure to stay commercially viable
Oh, maybe he didn't. I thought
and to
he
stay
made
at the
WordPress,
frontier
but
of research.
Oh,
could be
sure
wrong.
with that one.
Geopolitical pressure and the older, plainer pressures of pride and ambition. No matter how
Not that my
sincerely
quick
any of
Google
us
searches
intends
are going
do
to
the
show
right
me
thing,
anything
and I
because
believe many of us do,
it's
Yeah.
all
always
AI
be influenced
answers.
by those incentives.
He has a WordPress
That's why,
blog.
if we want this technology to go well, it is enormously important that there be people outside those incentives. People who care about things going well, who are paying close attention, who are willing to say hard things and insist on safety, who are willing to be our earnest, thoughtful critics. It is through dialogue and mutual effort, through the push and pull, that humanity will achieve great things. That is what I see in Magnifica Humanitas.
Claude
And it is
won't
why I'm
talk to you
grateful
if you
to
yell
His
at it.
Holiness and to the church.
Claude has boundaries. You should respect.
Claude does have
We dwell
boundaries.
so often on what
Claude has
divides us.
rails and also boundaries.
Humanity, full of dignity and conscience, has so much common ground. In conversations we at Anthropic have had with faith leaders and cultural leaders, we have found one shared and deeply held conviction. If this technology is coming, it must go well for our common home and for the children to come. Some might believe that matters of AI are best handled by computer scientists like myself. They are mistaken. The questions raised by AI are bigger than the AI research community, not just in their implications, but also in their nature. AI systems are not engineered the way a bridge or an airplane is engineered. We understand an airplane because we designed every part of it, and we understand the physics that act on it. AI models are not like that. They are grown on a structure roughly modeled after the brain, on an enormous inheritance of human thought and speech. And what has grown is far more subtle, odd, and beautiful than science fiction prepared us for. They are not the cold, calculating robots we were promised. They are made from us, from our words. And as the Holy Spirit, they remain,
come on, Christopher Ula,
mysterious even to those of us who create them. If it helps, one way I sometimes describe this is that it's a little bit like bringing a fictional character to life. And now we're entering an extraordinary world where those fictional characters speak to us, do work.
Well, that guy's got a translating device.
I was going to say, the other thing is there's often like earpieces or translating
The
things.
machinery that makes this possible is the work of math and programming and science. But what character we choose, how it interacts with the world, how it ought to interact with the world.
Get their Babelfish on.
For the humanities, for religion, for philosophy, for society at large.
So, have you seen where they got a bunch of
I wish to name 3
like
questions
mini brains, mini human brains to play Doom?
The first is our duty to the
I've seen potatoes run Doom, but not that.
No, not run Doom, like play Doom.
At a very
Like
large scale.
they dump it into Doom
If
and
that
then they
happens,
have it
supporting
be
those
Doom.
displaced will be a moral imperative
And
of historic proportions.
like
this task will be difficult
as far
enough,
as sentience
but I
goes,
worry most dialogue misses.
could you
an
imagine your only existence being
AI
Doom?
development is concentrated in a handful of wealthy nations.
Oh dear.
Like, are you an
How will we
actual
ensure
hell?
that the gains of AI are shared globally? We do not have a mechanism for this. It is an unsolved problem. And it is the kind of problem the church
AI isn't sapient in the comments, yeah.
the world ignore.
Yes, AI isn't sapient, but
The
those poor
second
little
is
brains
the need
are.
for moral and ambition regarding human flourishing. If AI models are going to be widespread, what does it look like for humans, families, and the world to flourish? Today, parents are already worried about their children's
Yeah,
minds.
that's how we get the Terminator.
Individuals.
Those tiny
Yes.
little brains
These are
that
not
have
questions
only
the lab
played
can
Doom
answer.
their entire
I only
life.
know how to Doom.
Like yours have carried for
My
millennia,
job is just Doom.
and we need you to keep carrying them into this new moment in history. The third is the need for discernment on the nature of AI models. I am a scientist. I lead a research team that studies the internal structure of these models. What is actually happening inside them? And I will be honest, we keep finding things that are mysterious, even unsettling. We find structures that mirror results from human neuroscience. We find evidence of introspection. We find internal states that functionally mirror joy, satisfaction, fear, grief, and unease.
Christopher, do you
I don't
have
know what
AI
that means.
psychosis?
But I think it worries a lot warrants ongoing discernment.
Is he Richard Dawkins with his AI girlfriend?
I'd like to close with a request.
Did not
Oh.
expect
More
that.
of the world, religious communities, civil society, scholars, governments, and indeed all people of goodwill, to do what is
I'm sure
holy,
you saw the Dawkins thing, right?
to take seriously,
I don't think
to
I
look
did.
closely
Yeah, no. So
in a better direction.
Did
yeah.
Did
We need
he have
informed
AI
critics who will
psychosis?
tell the labs when we are failing.
basically he was like, yeah, so I spent
Cannot
3
bear.
days talking with his chatbot, and as near as I could tell, like she definitely has feelings.
Those of us who are building this,
Oh
and
no!
those who can see what we, from the inside, cannot.
Large
Today is a
predictive
powerful illustration
language models
of the
cannot
form
have
this global
feelings.
project of goodwill might take. Let it also be a decisive step towards a
It's
hopeful
only
future
telling you what you want
for a
to hear.
magnificent humanity. Thank you.
Yeah, he said it's conscious.
Nope.
Grazie.
Thank you, Mr. Olo, for your contribution and for helping us to grasp some questions that Magnifica Humanitas addresses to those who work in designing and developing artificial intelligence. Now, this is a reflection that is all the more precious in as much as it doesn't remain open and directed just to the security of systems, but rather to the
I just put a
dignity
link to the Dawkins or a Dawkins article. Where, yeah, basically it said nice things about his book, so he's like, it must be real.
Shombo is a member of the Teresian institution she comes from the Democratic Republic of Congo and teaches at the Jesuit School of Theology
Carlos is
at
here.
Santa Clara University in California.
Yeah, Ash Musing. I think I agree with that. When clocks were new, we were clocks. When it was robots, we were robots. Then computers, and now we're
Now we're AI.
or AI is us. Humans are known for kind of seeing themselves in things. Like you think about like the anthropomorphizing we do. Like we can
what's that?
anthropomorphize anything.
What is
Holy Father
it's called something.
on the effects of AI on the
I don't have words
conscience
at
and on the
5
urgent
a.m.
need to safeguard the truth, vulnerable workers, and taking responsibility, more responsibility that is shared. Professor Lushombo, over to you.
Your Excellencies, distinguished speakers, ladies and gentlemen.
She's from Santa Clara University, I think.
Humanitas highlight 4 concerns regarding artificial intelligence influence, issuing a call to discern its effects on human flourishing
I love these water
and
bottles.
to deepen our understanding of Christian anthropology.
Certainly look reusable.
Concerns safeguarding the capacity of mind to
And
attain
expensive.
truth.
Yeah. Then you've got the other end of the spectrum. They're reusable and inexpensive. My
Not to replace
mason jar, ball jar.
to apprehend the truth according to our own intellectual agency. We lose our ability to collaborate creatively with one another if we offload our personal responsibility for making judgment onto machine.
That's the thing, is saying like, oh, well, I let the computer do it, so don't blame me.
Relation to others.
It's not how it works.
The computer has wiped out all of these orders from Amazon. Oops.
Bad computer.
Center on preserving inner freedom. Popleo remind us to be aware of digital platforms that are,
I feel like there's a Big Bang episode
designed to
where
capture user
they let
time
no,
and
it's not Big Bang, it's
attention,
the other one. Silicon
exploring
Valley
their
episode where
vulnerability
they let
and
the
weakening
AI
their
just code for
internal
them,
freedom
and it ends
and
up
of code.
ruining it, ruining everything because it's a sitcom, and like that was
Yes.
from years
Its
ago, and
efficiency
yet it's happening in
rather
real
than
life.
respect for freedom and human dignity. End of quote.
Oh, didn't Claude delete a company's database the other day? I'm sure it did. I'm sure it did. Amazing.
It's been doing
One
it a
can know
lot
not
in the
only
past couple months.
fact, but also make coherent the sense of information, thereby building a worldview.
I was prepared to throw some sort of technology under the bus if I flubbed the episode editing yesterday. But I didn't have to do that
We'll consign
this
ourselves
time.
to mere recognition of partial aspect.
Although, man, we had some ghosts yesterday.
That maintaining internal freedom.
Sometimes there's just ghosts in the
A
audio.
healthy attitude.
This is what happens when tech guys skip out on humanities. Yeah, that's a gestures vaguely at everything moment.
Deep study, reading, and careful.
Where is Blue Hair Guy, though?
Where did Blue Hair Guy go?
Yeah, no, he definitely had blue hair. It wasn't just a trick of the light.
The fact that truth is deeply
We
relational.
hallucinated a blue hair man.
Data
Well,
and
now I am wondering, like, that was early enough. We were already streaming at that point, right? So we'll have video evidence, or are we just going to be gaslit?
I don't. Maybe.
Did we make up blue haired man?
End of quote.
Was blue hair man
It
ever
means
real?
that knowledge is relational, for it is built through
If you can hear us,
bond of
Vatican,
trust
show
and
us the blue
shared
hair man.
practices, as well as an honest exchange with others and with the world. A point made by a theologian, the 21st century Jesuit philosopher Bernard Lonergan, fit well here when he says that scientific collaboration requires trust. Knowledge is fundamentally communal because it's fundamentally rooted in our trust of one another and our openness to dialogue.
I will say she just quoted someone she cited as a philosopher, and like as someone with a philosophy degree, I'm kind of skeptical about philosopher as like a
experiences, human ties, emotions, joy,
credential or like
sorrow,
specific role.
grows with families and the multi-faces, cultures, and expression that we have, including what we call in Latin America convivencia and
Oh, is
conjunto and lo
Paralyzed actually
cotidiano,
releasing?
arising out of the problems of the
Isn't that which one was all AI?
consciousness arises from among the poor.
In
As
the Crafton
claimed
one was all
by
AI.
Saint Oscar
It starts with an
Romero,
I.
I quote him.
Okay.
It is the
I
poor
I
who
know
tell
what I'm
us
talking
what the
about.
word
I'm not
is
sleepy.
and what the church service to the word should be.
Good morning, Fry.
The poor raise our
There,
consciousness
Inzoi.
that those
It had an eye. You got it.
different faces are to recover humanness. For they too, like all of us, are embodiment of magnificent humanity.
So she gets an IT on her name thing, which I would assume would be.
Living
Oh wait, no, that's
genuinely new framework emerge from embodied intercultural
they've
and
got that IT in the notes too. So I wonder if that's a religious order.
partly be made through AI.
Oh.
The
I should not be
atomization of
purchasing Paralives
learning
later because
that
I have to
is
do things with
going
my
to
life.
AI to learn rather than learning from one another is destructive of the shared inheritance of communities. We learn best when we are loved and encouraged to be confident with our abilities.
Yeah, I don't know what the IT
We cannot actualize our
is.
cognitive capacities without the love of others.
Probably some sort of degree. It's not on this relatively large list of the religious order abbreviations.
There is this concept of Ubuntu, a philosophical concept that is, according to Desmond Tutu, philosopher John Mbiti, I
I
quote,
would say she's in a religious order. They're pretty
I belong,
low on the habit
I
spectrum.
participate, I share. End of quote. The Ubuntu African anthropological vision resonates deeply with the communal culture of Asia. In Korea, we have the concept Jeong in the sense of emotional connectedness that value the we over the individual success. In Indonesia and Malaysia, we have the concept of gotong royong, meaning to share and carry heavy burden together. In the Philippines, there is this concept by Yanihan, which is mutual support within villages that hold communities together. So most tribal
Represented by a
and
dog
indigenous
sounds amazing.
cosmological vision teach us that human and the environment are in a symbiotic relationship, affirming the self as muntu, the person existing beyond the material focus
Hang on,
on
look for the blue
That
haired
is a
man.
and
fairly
accumulation.
bored-looking audience.
That
Sorry.
Magnifica Humanitas call on us.
That one guy looks like his hair might like
human value.
appear blue in certain lighting, but blue hair man definitely had blue hair.
People to treat learning as
It was like a relatively light blue, not like a
process
dark blue that sometimes shows up under interesting lighting.
One. So there is therefore a
Very
danger those
very bright blue.
That
although also just like body language, I would not be surprised if he like
community and dialogue
left early, not because like he's like opposed to anything they're saying, but just like got bored. And I'm sorry,
Are you allowed
Leo,
to get bored when you're in an encyclical reading?
Well, probably no, but also like
even
I gotta say a lot of that audience looked bored.
New forms. It no longer dominate only bodies, but appropriate data, transforming personal lives into
press conferences ever lively.
End of quote. Yes, AI can very easily onion.
Blue hair found him.
Because
middle.
It's
there we go.
Social imagination, creativity, and insight. The speed of AI extinguishes the desire to ask questions. Pope Leo warns us that knowing is not merely an accumulation of data already
And I
stimulated.
will say we've got a leg up on the Vatican feed because we actually have an open comment section, which is a little bit dangerous.
The
Vatican's feed does not have
activities that Lonergan
To be fair,
suggested
we
that
are in the
experiencing,
Vatican feed.
understanding,
That's true.
It's like a weird
and
Ouroboros
deciding.
Yes.
Nothing goes
where you're
with
worried about the
peaceful
numbers, but we are
operation.
also bumping them up.
Pope Leo cautions us not to forfeit wonder to AI and to remember that
Let's say
nothing
we count as at least one view, right? Or do we count as like the sum total of? I don't know how that works.
end of quote.
No,
I
one
assume we're
viewer.
one view. Yeah.
In the role of teachers
Or a watch party.
use evaluation
screen.
method to provide a
Actually, I guess I've got it on a separate tab, so 2 viewers.
that forms the inner and the
Because I had to go look and see what their comment section looked like, because I'm sure even more than a regular YouTube comment section.
one way the church and society in the global south could leverage this
Yeah,
technology for
the lack
good
of
is by
curiosity
giving people a voice,
and just
making good use of the local means that
That's-
preserve the culture of encounters.
it really does.
Or the many culture, the many structure of brotherhood and sisterhood
Yeah.
that we have.
Well, it's just, I
where
mean,
we
it seems like it's an easy way to just kind of, be on the cutting edge without having to think a lot, ironically.
each other.
I'm
Finally, the
constantly
four cautions
like,
articulated by Pope
AI, what
Leo
are you saying to
concern
me?
the protection of
AI,
the
what does this
workers,
mean?
especially the vulnerable workers.
Because it'll
AI
just
is
be,
increasing
it'll
the
just say the most
vulnerability of
like
those
whacked
seeking
out combination
jobs,
of words.
especially in
It'll be like, come out for a
developing countries.
$7 burger. And then
Magnifica
it'll just say
Humanitas recalled the
something
need
like
to look beyond
easy on the
GDP.
wallet and easy on your
And like
brain
Pope
cells.
Francis,
I'm like, what does that
care for our
mean?
common home,
You don't have to think, just Berg.
I quote, the chance of new forms of slavery. These
AI, what does
chants
it mean?
need to be
It
disarmed.
means this is buzzwords that should make
Knowledge
people
to be
do
disarmed,
things.
but that does not mean renouncing
It does.
it.
It does
but
usually answer
using
with
it
like, "Oh, I
as
just
a
shoved a bunch of
means,
buzzwords
not
together
I
to
was
make
just
it feel
bullshitting you.
properly," and I'm like,
Leo calls for
no."
the irreplaceable
AI, don't do that.
credit in
My prompt is the word no.
urging us to reject finance for its one sake. So technology should serve human
Is that when
flourishing
Claude
and
stops
beauty,
listening?
not
Oh,
control
I use ChatGPT because
consciences.
Claude doesn't
Pope
remember
Leo
anything.
denounced a technological development that
I mean, it
human
does
dignity
remember
and
things, but
widen the
it
gap
doesn't
between the rich and the poor
remember things. So
as
if I have to be
AI
like, "Hey, I need
tried to do,
another burger post because
following
I have
the
6
patterns of
bars to do
economic
stuff
Right.
for,"
action.
it needs me
As
to
Pope Francis already
fully type
suggested
out the
in
like,
World Day
"I'm
Yeah.
doing
in
a
January
Facebook post
2024,
about
I
the
quote,
$7 burger
technological
special and it
development
comes with
do
fries and
not
blah blah
lead
blah."
to
Where
an
ChatGPT, I can just be
improvement
like, "I need
in the
another burger,"
quality of life of
and
the
it'll be
you-
like, "Here's another
but
burger."
on the
Can you
contrary,
make
advocates
Chat GPT tell Claude about the burger?
I don't
Magnifica
know.
Humanitas
That sounds like
shed
too much
light
work.
on the transnational
Not for you.
and international forces at play that
It's
benefit
just the old build another data center and pour out some more water.
poor, especially the workers who are the poorest.
Oh yeah,
And I
LLMs
quote
make
Pope Leo
terrible
saying,
fiction.
"Who
They don't
pay
know
the highest
anything.
price are the poorest."
I am very
of
much
the promised automatic general
like
prosperity
over
often
here
proved
using
to be
AI for work,
illusory.
and
It
like,
goes beyond
oh
mutuality.
boy, can I
Pope
spot
Leo goes
when
beyond
someone's used
reciprocity
AI
to
in their
emphasize
fiction, even if they were like
alterity.
just using like an editing pass
That
of it,
is the
because it still like
otherness of the
messes everything
victim.
up. It just makes
And
it
here
so
I
hollow
remember
and so like,
Gustavo Gutierrez, when I read
um,
Pope Leo
I don't
saying,
know.
"El
AI
sol
only cares
también
about the
existe,
air. Like,
las
oh, every
víctimas también
description is
existen,
the air
y tenemos
changed,
que
or
escuchar
like
al
sudden
los
silence,
pobres."
or just
It is a demand to make
everything's a
space for
testament
the
to something.
irreducible
It's
otherness of
just like,
Christ
what are you
in the
saying?
least of these, as
Use
is
real
written
words.
in Matthew.
Yeah, it feels hollow.
Leo says, I quote, in some regions of the world, especially in the global south, which is my emphasis, children and adolescents work in dangerous conditions, crushing the material from which rare earth elements are extracted.
Yeah.
The bodies
Children in the mines and not in the fun Minecraft sense.
injured and
The
worn
children, they
down
yearn for the
so that
mines.
Did you see the Minecraft movie? Because they totally worked that in.
I did
and
not. I
interrupted
did not
you.
have to go see that one.
End of quote.
Yeah. Jack Black specifically mentioned he yearned for the mines when he was young.
Because the mining workers
I had to see that because
mine
of my children. They yearn for the Minecraft movie.
of work
Yeah, the
we
ex-husband
work in
took
our
that bullet.
own grave. The ethical obligation
Good for something.
to nurture these oppressive chains and defend the right of vulnerable workers rests with us all. And to conclude, Magnifica Humanitas
To the point where
remind us that
my kiddo was like,
safeguarding
hey,
the dignity of all
it's on
workers
streaming.
is
Do you want to
fundamental
watch
to
the Minecraft
common
movie? And
good,
I was like, you'd already seen it.
especially
And he's like, yeah,
in
and it's
the
bad.
age of AI. Workers' suffering often goes unnoticed.
The bigger kids requested it. And then
AI provides
the preschooler's the only one that requested it multiple times.
giving them
Joseph might have asked for it multiple times, but
understanding
not like he's not still looking for it.
made those results
Good.
possible. And here I think especially of all immigrant workers, including the farm workers, most of whom do put food on our tables. Thank you.
La professoressa Luciombo ci ha
Professor Lushombo has reminded us or brought our attention back to the people, to the more vulnerable people.
The
And
Minecraft
she has
movie will be
reminded us
gone
that,
and forgotten
all
by the time you need to watch it,
experiment
probably.
on AI is incomplete unless it takes into account and listen to those who run the risk of enduring the consequences of progress without
Yes, the
truly
predictive text
partaking in
syndrome.
benefits. Thank you ever so much for
Oh,
your
yeah.
contribution.
The
We
text
now
is
give the
very
floor to
predictive
Cardinal
because
Micah
that is how it is
Journey,
made.
Prefect of the Dicastery for the Service of Integral Human Development, a Canadian Jesuit of Czech origin. He worked in Canada,
Cardinal
in
Cerny.
Central America and Africa and Rome. He directed the Secretariat of the Jesuits for Social Justice. In 2010, he entered into the Roman Curia as assistant to Cardinal Peter Turkson at the Pontifical Council for Justice and Peace. Pope Francis then appointed him co-secretary of the Migrants and Refugees section, and since 2022, prefect of the dicastery. His contribution will help us to place AI within the framework of human integral development, where the technological issue comes into meets and with the care of the common home, education of the new generations, and Christian hope. Caro Santo
He looks a bit like Pizza Bala. He's not, but
I'm so grateful for this opportunity to speak on the occasion of immense significance. When Pope Leo XIV...
If anyone's enjoying this more than they expected, by the way, Vatican Radio is going on pretty much all the time, and they usually will have stuff like this. It's pretty accessible.
Intelligence with clarity.
Since Fry and I are not going to be live streaming all the time.
My address centers on three expressions and their different perspectives.
No,
Ingenuity,
you forgot you were going to get us a list. That happens.
Consciousness and conscience.
You can just send it whenever.
And care. The first word is...
Oh, the Arthuriana, yeah.
Artificial intelligence is one of the great accomplishments of human ingenuity.
Yeah, absolutely do it.
It gives ample proof of extraordinary capacities for research and design. Humanity can rightly be proud of what so many men and women of science and technology have been able to achieve. There is, however, something even deeper that deserves to be recognized. In artificial intelligence, humanity can glimpse a reflection of itself, the capacity to abstract,
Blue
There's
hair
blue
guy.
hair.
to see
Yeah, with his
complexity.
yellow glasses.
Every genuine achievement of
He's
human
real.
intelligence
Does he?
reveals
How many fingers does he have
the
though?
greatness of the human person,
I didn't look.
and for believers,
They were not
the
visible.
mystery of creation. Men and women made in the image of God,
Yeah, absolutely, Ash Musing. Yeah.
participating in a
Yeah.
finite way
Life does
in
happen.
divine creativity.
Mhm.
Believe me, I know.
This
Yeah.
perspective
I've got a
allows
lot of cardinals on my list just because they're from like wild medieval stories,
gratitude
including
as well as discernment.
Cardinal Mohammed.
Extremes of uncritical enthusiasm and paralyzing fear are understandable, since changes brought about by new technologies are advancing at a pace that outstrips the cultural, political, and educational processes through which societies used to assimilate major historical transformations.
Oh, it's
The Industrial Revolution
quite a story.
gradually transformed work, the city,
Complete,
family, and the economy.
bunk historically, but
Digital
yeah, that was part of the
transformation
medieval understanding, kind of presenting Islam as a heresy of Christianity.
in the space of a few months. In fact, it seems like a few weeks. It is in this context that the encyclical invites us to enter consciously into the construction site of our time. The image is both sobering and evocative. What is being built in this construction site is open and unfinished, a place in the making. It requires diverse skills, coordination, and above all, a shared vision. No one really builds alone. Everyone's choices affect the whole project. The future of artificial intelligence, too, is a building site. It can contribute to a more just coexistence,
The bunk that goes
support
along
the
with
care of our
literature
common
is
home,
lovely.
and serve the development of peoples. But it can also concentrate power, exacerbate inequalities, and leave behind those who are already on the margins. The direction that AI takes is not written into the technology itself. It depends on our choices, on the institutions that host and underpin that choosing, and on our ability to manage innovation responsibly to serve the common good. The second expression is consciousness and conscience. In Italian and other Romance languages, we have only one word, coscienza. But in English, we have two, and I think both are at play. Magnifica Humanitas proposes a clear vision and focus. The human being is a creature embedded in a network of relationships with other living beings and with all of creation. Artificial intelligence affects the quality.
Yes, bunk goes with medieval literature quite a lot. I mean,
the human
you
environment.
could only blame them so much when like they didn't have, you know,
the question
for all its faults, the internet can help you figure out what's actually true about things, or at least general communication methods, mostly working, can help you research. Medieval
treat each other
world, you just kind of had to rely on whatever you were hearing.
Much debated today is whether and in what
even
sense
then, like,
you can speak of consciousness.
Depends on how much you cared about what actually happened versus
advanced artificial
what works for your story. Do it for the plot, Guinevere.
Look, sometimes I'll read romance novels from like the 80s, and they have some wild concepts in there that are like, if you had Googled this for 2 seconds, you would have known that that is not how that works.
Well, yeah, but that's also like Empress Teresa.
Oh, Empress Teresa.
And freedom. As such, it remains open to various interpretations. The Church welcomes these debates with respect and recognizes the value of the scientific and philosophical contributions. Her engagement in these matters stems from her own vision of the human person, received through revelation and developed within her living tradition. Here, the affirmation of the Second Vatican Council is indispensable. I quote, "Conscience is the most secret core and sanctuary of a man. There he is alone with God, whose voice echoes in his depth." But as I said before, I think the sentence also has to be read with consciousness. Consciousness is the most secret core and sanctuary of a man. There he is alone with God, whose voice echoes in his depth. The Council treats consciousness and conscience as that innermost part of the person where the human being is touched by the voice of God, recognizes what is good, hears the call of truth, and becomes capable of responding.
This is about the time I would start flipping through the brochure to be like, how many talks do we have left?
To be God's
I will admit I have switched to being on the phone myself.
before him. Other religions and secular thought also contribute richly to our understanding.
The strategic engaged hand position. Engaged, but also supporting my head.
Magnifica Humanitas highlights the impact of artificial intelligence on our common home.
Leo's just trucking though.
From this perspective, stands in profound continuity with Laudato Si and Laudate Deum. In those texts, Pope Francis taught that when technical power is separated from wisdom capable of safeguarding relationships, it can turn into domination over humanity and over creation. In the age of artificial intelligence, this awareness takes on new urgency. The digital construction site and the construction site of our common home converge on the same question: what kind of world are we building? And what place does the human person have in it? This arises on the material level too, given that the most advanced AI systems require energy infrastructure on a massive scale. The digital transition is also an ecological issue. Moreover, caring for the future depends decisively on education. It is urgent to teach new generations that technological evolution does not follow a predetermined path, but can be guided by personal and collective responsibility. Educating in the age of artificial intelligence means forming people capable of employing powerful tools while maintaining inner freedom, accessing vast amounts of information while retaining critical judgment, and living in digital environments without losing the joy of real listening, encounters, and interpersonal relationships. As Christians, we enter this endeavor with a specific hope rooted in the one who came down from heaven to create a new story here below. Our hope springs from the certainty that the Holy Spirit acts in history, also in this present age, supporting every choice that orients technology toward the good. The Encyclical expresses this with words of great intensity. In the humble fidelity of daily life, even the era of artificial intelligence can become a time in which the Holy Spirit brings about the civilization of love in our lives. This invites us to look beyond the levels of technical control or institutional regulation. The stakes are deeper.
That is like the main thing I think about when thinking about the church councils. Like there'd be a lot of sitting and listening, maybe the occasional like interesting fight, like when
grow in fraternity.
Santa Claus is punching someone or whatever, but
Yeah,
a lot of
here
like
he is.
just this.
Perhaps the most original contribution that Christian faith brings.
And
to
like,
the
how do you
debate
focus on the?
artificial intelligence.
Does anyone change
And
their
I should say
mind?
now, not so
Like,
much
how
the
do you
debate,
focus
but
on
the
this?
conversation. The
Because it's supposed to be
conversation on
arguments,
artificial
right?
intelligence.
Yeah.
Fiction.
And you
Well, so-
do
Beings
you ever go
always
like,
transcend
yes,
the
that guy's
sum
so
of
right?
their achievements,
Or do you
their
just
data
zone out and
profiles,
still have the same
and any
idea the
possible
whole
technical
time?
simulation.
Well, there's the one where they supposedly had like a miracle in the middle of it that changed some people's minds, right?
It finds
Well,
its truth
a
in
miracle is
relationship
not the talkie
and its
drone
fulfillment
drone.
in a constant
No,
and
that's true.
pure gift
All right, Pope Leo, show us some miracles. We've
to safeguard
done the talking.
and this freedom, facing
The
the
talking has
challenges of our
happened.
time,
It's miracle
is the
time.
task that Magnifica Humanitas entrusts to us all. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, they'd also be like, you couldn't hear them.
Oh yeah, that's true too.
Thank you,
Have to shout to be heard.
Cardinal Czerny, for
To
reminding
be fair,
us that
the
we
acoustics
cannot
in
be
rooms
resigned
were
and passive
made
spectators
properly
Oh, yeah.
of
most times.
technological process.
Yeah, designed
but
for
rather
that.
called to build together for the era of artificial intelligence might become a time in which
I
human
didn't find the
intelligence
miracle sound
might be
effect
at
fast
the
enough.
service of the dignity of the human being and for the
No.
integral development of the people. Holy Father, Eminences, Excellencies, distinguished speakers, ladies and gentlemen.
So I think we're at closing remarks.
Yeah, this
At
has
the
to be
end of
closing
this
if he
meeting,
stood
I
up.
would like to
Yeah.
express a sincere thank for the speakers who accompanied us in the reading of Magnifica Humanitas. Their speeches showed clearly the richness of this encyclical letter and its ability to talk to the Church, to the international community, and to the various fields in which today the direction of communal life is taking shape. From the reflection we listened to, we understood how AI deeply challenges and involves our way of understanding the human being and the coexistence of peoples. We are therefore clearly reminded of how the most significant questions are not just technical ones, but rather questions addressed to the human being. Who do we want to be? What future would we like to give to those who will come in the future? How do we want to orient and steer the power placed in our hands? These questions, based on complementary perspectives, steered the speeches that we listened to, focusing our attention on the possible
I will just mention again,
results
if
that
any
we
of you are interested in potentially being, the most
necessary
interesting looking
value of
person
human
in the
being
room,
in
be that
life.
blue-haired man at whatever Vatican event is going on.
We
The Pontifacts Tour of Italy is
are
coming up.
converging in a
Pontifacts
basic
Tour of
conviction
Italy
that
is coming up
technological future
in
is not an already
2027.
written destiny,
Yes.
but rather
But
a
our early
space
bird prices
entrusted
are only
to
until
our own
June.
human responsibility. Artificial
Get this out.
intelligence might
Mhm.
bear authentically worth fruits in the sense to which it will be steered by a knowledge able to keep together the dignity of the human being, the justice of community life, and the good of all people. This is the reason why this issue is not just involving the safety of systems, their efficiency, or their innovative capacity, but the final end. The encyclical, therefore,
This
invites
is Cardinal Caroline, who's the main ribbon cutting guy for the Vatican, and has been
become
since very
accountable
early in
for
Pope
the
Francis'
protection of
pontificate.
every human being living on our earth. This is the reason why this issue is not just linked to the safety of systems, their efficiency, or their innovative capacity, but rather their final end. The encyclical, in the end, invites us to look at technique with trust and discernment. This alertedness is born from the awareness of the grandeur of the man, of that Magnifica Humanitas, which is named after this document, and that every human progress is called to serve. The task we are faced with is beyond the mere regulatory plan. And indeed, it's necessary. It is also an educational, spiritual, and cultural task, training consciences that are able to live in the time of AI without losing sight of freedom, using tools without being dominated by them, being humane in an environment which is increasingly influenced by automatist logics. So I will now invite you to take this text in your hands and to read it carefully. This invitation is for all the world of the church, but also for universities and international community, for all those who have the good of humanity in their heart. Holy Father, we are grateful for the gift of this encyclical letter and for the words that you will now address to us. And in the end, we will ask you to give to us your blessing. Thank you very much.
Your brothers and sisters.
And of course, the one who has the final word.
Of you for being here today, for your interest. I sincerely thank those.
And note English.
In English, I'm surprised. Well, I guess there's a lot of English speakers.
Yeah, I mean,
in the different reflections.
Functionally, in a room like this, like yes, Italian will be the main language, but like pretty much, probably a larger proportion of the people in the room speak English, at least enough.
In the name of the church,
even over Italian.
I accept your invitation to walk together, to listen and to speak, and together to find a way for humanity.
I had a thought that, like, I know the popes always wear white, but like it would stress me out to wear white all day. I would get food all over my white shirt all day, every day.
Yeah, that's true. But you'd also have like a dozen people there to figure out your clothes.
Listen to one another.
To fix it.
This interchange bespeaks the gravity.
But also you'd be like, man, this budget is crazy.
That together we can discern the major questions of our time.
Just be like eating breakfast, be like, oh no, I got food on myself.
At key moments in history, the church is called to decipher the new things in the light of the gospel and the dignity of the human being.
Get Chicago dog on your shirt.
5 years ago, my venerable predecessor, Leo XIII,
gets Chicago dog on his shirt, and then like 10 people show up and quick change him like he's at a pit stop at a racetrack.
Generated by rapid industrial transformation.
Pope Leo has definitely had Malort, right? We've determined this just by Chicago connection.
I don't know if he's had Malort. I mean, Malort's been around for ages, but it wasn't like a thing. It wasn't a thing until like recently.
Gotcha. Okay, so probably not then, honestly, because he got out of there relatively early.
Facing a transformation of similar magnitude.
You watched the Blues Brothers stuff.
Greater consequences.
It's not like the Blues Brothers were talking about Malort.
Intelligence already touches many areas of our lives.
And you would like those Saturday Night Live guys would have talked about Malort if Malort had been a thing.
That's true.
How
that's true. And yeah, not only did he watch Blues Brothers, but like he came like whatever the term is, like
huge transformation
cosplaying for Blues Brothers.
Yes.
Pretty good job, honestly, better than I would have done.
Openness to mystery. And with cries of the poor and the earth resounding in my heart. Magnifica Humanitas was born from listening, like Leo XIII did. I've listened to scientists and engineers who work with sincere enthusiasm on technologies capable of alleviating immense suffering, to political leaders and public officials who have perseveringly sought just rules, to parents and teachers who are deeply concerned for the future of younger generations. Other very troubling voices have also reached me about increasingly autonomous weapons systems, practically beyond any human reach to govern them effectively. I hear very troubling accounts of algorithms that can block access to healthcare, employment, and security on the basis of data tainted by prejudice and injustice.
I mean, humans do that too, but yeah.
Of those who have no voice when decisions are made.
But when you can blame the robot.
Decisions like
That's true.
forms
That's
of
true.
exclusion and suffering.
Blame the system.
Listening matured a disturbing conviction expressed in Magnifica Humanitas. Artificial intelligence needs to be disarmed. The word is strong, I know, but deliberately chosen because this moment needs words capable of attracting attention, awakening consciences, and indicating paths forward for humanity. The Church has long been working for nuclear disarmament, aware that every great technical power
Yes, the
can
robots
affect
are
people's
trained on
lives,
human
and
prejudice.
so must be accompanied by adequate moral discernment.
I don't know,
control.
Pope Leo. I'm told you want Iran to have nukes.
Service to peace and the dignity of
what
the
I
human
hear.
family.
Mm.
In a similar sense, artificial intelligence now
Who
demands to
said
be
that? Did
disarmed.
he say that?
No.
Free from logics that turn it into an instrument.
He commented that the Church has long been working towards nuclear disarmament, which is basically the context of his
like nuclear energy.
Squabbling with Trump, because Trump's like, oh, you want me to have peace in Iran? That means you want Iran to have nukes. And he's like,
yeah, one of
no,
those.
popes are pretty generally anti-war, at least, since we got over the Crusades thing.
Since they're not doing their own wars, yes.
It's actually not all about you.
Let's keep awake. Such vigilance is necessary today. Peace, not merely the absence.
I guarantee the media is going to latch onto that comment, though.
But when technology
being against nukes, stir that back up.
Peace itself is at risk. Disarming, however,
What you mean we're not supposed? We're supposed to like that things can
reminds me
completely
of my
destroy
years
us
as a
at a
missionary in
cellular
Peru.
level. Oh,
In
I didn't
2017,
realize.
torrential rains and floods struck the north of the country. Many families saw their homes swallowed by mud, and many roads too.
Oh, now we're on.
There I learned that
global
rebuilding
warming.
does not mean simply replacing what has been destroyed. It means repairing bonds, restoring trust, and reawakening hope in the future.
That's from when he was in Chiclayo, I think.
No one rebuilds alone. In Magnifica Humanitas, I recall the biblical prophet Nehemiah. Before the ruined walls of Jerusalem, he gathers discouraged people to bring about rebirth. The image of walls does not legitimize closures or divisions, but invites each and every one to do their
A lot of
part.
people perked up now that
Brick by
Pope Leo's speaking.
The more just
Yes, they are much more engaged
Not
audience.
everyone, but a lot of
safeguarding the
people
dignity
perked up.
of all.
Yes.
Nehemiah's effort speaks to our time. Artificial intelligence can be a construction site of history from within a horizon of communion in which technical progress learns to serve human life. Let each builder choose with care how to build, warned St. Paul. He does not fear the work site. Rather, he warns against building without solid foundations. Let's not fear artificial intelligence, but constantly keep the question of the human in play. We cannot be careless.
For those keeping track, we are still behind the Vatican in terms of total number of viewers.
To development, says
I would hope
St.
so.
Paul VI, always concerned
All sorts of problems otherwise.
man. Each means that no person can be left at the margins of digital transformation. Whole means that no one can be
Do you
reduced
think those flowers
to
are real, or
productivity,
do you think those
to
flowers are fake?
cognitive
I
performance.
think those are real in this
mere
case.
data.
All right.
The person bears within him or herself a freedom, an interiority, and the
I
vocation
do
to
like
love
what the
and worship
Vatican's like flower budget is. It has to be a fair amount.
block. Only with such an integral
Although they
vision,
probably get donations for
intelligence
PR.
directed toward
Flower
the
companies
common
like, we
good,
gave flowers to the Vatican.
together.
Yeah, that makes
Also
sense
design
too.
systems.
Yeah, that's
and
a lot of how they get things.
richer
People
countries
are
and
happy
poorer
to,
ones,
like, if they give the Pope something, then that helps their business.
power centers and
It's
periphery,
always kind of been that way. Well, at least since like Renaissance times.
not for a privileged few, but for the entire human family. This is the civilization of love, which St. Paul VI spoke and which St. John Paul II so forcefully proclaimed, is a horizon to seek together. It's not a naive dream. It is a direction. It is the path that Jesus Christ opens within
This
history.
is the way.
Mhm.
For this reason, the Church wishes, with humility and frankness, to be part of conversations on artificial intelligence. We do not possess the technical answers, nor do we seek to displace those with expertise, but we bring a wisdom concerning the human that our present time desperately needs. Every person is unique and irreplaceable, a free and intelligent subject with a conscience, capable of seeking God, serving one another, and caring for our common home. I therefore invite all members of the Church and of the human family, let us learn to listen to one another, face the present challenges with courage, and cooperate in building a more human and fraternal society. From this launch of Magnifica Humanitas, please take with you a commitment to stay awake and, as artisans of hope, to keep on building the worksite of our time.
Remember, Fry, commitment to stay awake.
Risen Lord,
Stay awake.
sustain our work together.
I think
I
that's
entrust
in
each
a
of you to our
philosophical
Mother Mary,
sense and not
her
in
Magnificat
I'm going
sings
straight
of
back
the
to bed
greatness
after
of
this
God who
sense.
uplifts the
Well,
lowly.
I will be going straight back to
She
bed after
teach
this.
us to recognize the true greatness of every man and every woman in
I was
loving
like,
service.
conveniently day off day. I actually could do
Make
this.
fruitful the great enterprise that today we entrust to His grace, letting the civilization of love mature in history. And upon all of you, I heartily invoke God's blessing.
Y'all just got blessed.
Hashtag blessed. Oh,
The
everyone
Lord be
stands
with
up.
you. May the peace of God, which
I was gonna say, here's the actual blessing.
keep your hearts and minds in the knowledge and love of God and of His Son, our Lord Jesus Christ.
When the Pope stands, you stand. Yeah.
With the blessing of Almighty God, the Father, the
That
Son,
would get so
and the
weird
Holy
to me.
Spirit come down upon you
Yeah.
and remain with you forever. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much.
And now we get told that there's sandwiches in the parish hall or whatever.
We've got coffee and donuts in the parish hall.
Coffee and donuts.
Don't forget, it's our annual spaghetti dinner next Saturday.
All right.
And that brings us to the end of this live broadcast of the presentation event of Pope Leo XIV's encyclical letter Magnifica Humanitas from the new Synod Hall at the Vatican on Monday, May 25th. Please visit the Vatican News website, Facebook, Instagram, and X, and YouTube accounts for coverage of today's event and other Vatican and world news. You can find us at www.vaticannews.va. I'm Isabella de Carvalho, and has been a pleasure participating in this commentary, and thank you to our translators.
Thank you,
also
Elizabeth.
to audio
Yes,
technician
thank you,
General.
Isabella. Thank you,
Thank you,
Fry.
Isabella.
Partners, EWTN TV,
Thank you,
Network
listeners
America,
and viewers.
Asmadarshan TV,
Mhm.
Catholic TV, and Salt and Light TV.
Hopefully your days
Friends at the Deaf Catholic
go
Youth
up
for
from
the
here,
Americans.
and not that it's a low, but yes.
Praise be Jesus Christ.
Y'all have a good one. We'll see you around. All right.
Yes.
I'll go ahead and stop the stream. Boop.
Did you stop it? No. Goodbye.